Hello, I'm Jared Taylor with American Rose. Oh, no, no. No, 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 no. Ah. Oh, for heaven's sake. You're going to make me lose my composure before I even start. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here today because our country is dying. And it's hard to say exactly when it fell sick. Some people might say the 1960s. Some people might go back to the 1860s. And some people might say it was infected right from the start. But one thing is certain. On May 25th of 2020, just last year, the patient took a serious turn for the worse. A white man kept his knee on a black man for a few minutes too long, and the country went certifiably insane. Now, of course, if a single act could unleash the worst looting, rioting, and arson in the country's history, then pretty much anything could have set it off. The madness was already deeply, deeply embedded in our circumstances. These were, of course, a new kind of riot. Hitherto, blacks had mostly burned down their own neighborhoods. But this time, the most fashionable retail addresses in the entire country were sacked and looted, sometimes repeatedly. The Magnificent Mile in Chicago, Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, Fifth Avenue in New York. And never before has mob violence been rewarded so richly. Many of the corporations, some of which had suffered millions of dollars in damages, they got together and poured billions of dollars into BLM organizations. Countless rioters had violence charges dropped. It would have been as if the January 6th rioters had gotten a blanket amnesty, a heartfelt apology, and Trump had gotten a second term. Almost everything about those George Floyd riots was wrong or vicious or stupid. But to me, the most ominous was the idea that somehow black anger should be compensated for by removing statues of Christopher Columbus. No fewer than 30 memorials or statues were either torn down by the mob or taken down by terrified city authorities who were afraid their little darlings might injure themselves if they took it down. Now, what on earth did Christopher Columbus have to do with what happened on May 25th in Minneapolis? I can assure you that back in the time of the race riots of the 1960s, no one, and I mean no one, would have thought that Columbus had anything to do with black mayhem. But in the last half century, in this half century since then, many people appear to have come to believe that every single white person is personally, individually, and forever responsible for every failure and degeneracy of any black or brown person. That's what the slogan, white silence, means. Apparently, every moment when we are not bellowing Black Lives Matter at the top of our lungs, we're somehow committing violence, even in our sleep, as far as I can tell. What this means is all whites are guilty. And of what are we guilty? We're guilty of being white. And that's where Columbus comes in. Columbus is the origin of the evil because he was the first to bring this terrible plague of is personally, individually, and forever responsible for every failure and degeneracy of any black or brown person. Black mayhem. But in the last half century, in this half century since then, many people appear to have come to believe that every single white person is personally, individually, and forever responsible for every failure and degeneracy of any black or brown person. That's what the slogan, white silence, means. Apparently, every moment when we are not bellowing Black Lives Matter at the top of our lungs, we're somehow committing violence, even in our sleep, as far as I can tell. What this means is all whites are guilty. And of what are we guilty? We're guilty of being white. And that's where Columbus comes in. Columbus is the origin of the evil because he was the first to bring this terrible plague of whiteness to the entire Western Hemisphere.
Give thanks and praise. Give thanks and praise. Give thanks and praise. I like this guy here. Yeah, man. Gerard Taylor. Why? Them brethren you talk for them truth. Them not hide. Them little opinions or them views behind some closed doors. Yeah, man, I like them brethren here. And you're correct. Columbus is the man where them say bring this evil over here. Because when him come say, some man like I here. And yeah, I know you hear me. Because you touch base from 1492 now. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But because I'm not listen to this thing yet, I give you some room for go at it. But you're correct. Yeah, man. You foreign people came to this hemisphere. And when you come, you bring a foreign system here. And you not just corrupt our hemisphere, our environment. You pollute it. And you change it. And because you come from the sides of the north, and you invade Europe the very same way and spoil Europe, then you come over this side now and I try Europeanize us, give us the same style. And you get away with it for a very, very, very long time. Now you guys are try perfect your craft and it's not working. And it will never work. Gog and Magog. Why? Because you can't fool all the way. And it will never fool all of us all the time. I'm looking at you, Gerard Taylor. Yeah, man, I'm looking at you. And you look like I. And I'm quite sure your interest now have nothing to do with I and I people. So this is why your advocacy is such. And this is why I advocacy is such. Yeah, man, I don't know why the mainland are them afraid for challenge you this way. You understand? Yeah, man. And I look at the eye and I say, you are not an American. What is your point of origin, Gerard Taylor? You understand? From which one of them mountain range that you come from, Gerard Taylor? You and your kind, you and your people, since you want to put it that way. Since you want it to be us against them with you over there and I over here. Brethren, you guys will always be that problem. Why? Because you not originate in this hemisphere, yet you guys come here and claim all kind of things. And then you're going to say it's not all white people is like you. I won't disagree, because all of them are not acidic as you. All of them are Khazars as you. Some of them probably have a little bit of mixture here and there. But when I look upon you, Gerard Taylor, yeah man, you look like one of them where you like for style and say, purebred. Yeah man, straight from that serpent seed, irrespective of where you come tell me, and I try to have the people and believe. American Renaissance, where you try, Gerard The French people and get them Renaissance, and you was a part of that. Now it's our turn. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And we are the true Americans here, just like how when I say Africa, listen, I see all different kind of people who claim to be African. And this is why me I say, yo, I could call them by them tribal affiliation or appellation, you know? Yeah, man, 'cause Africa too generalize. That is a scam. You understand? If the man them there in Nigeria, I could call them that. I would that, even when it's in its corporate setting. These guys are tear up Africa right now, just like how them come over here and tear up around here. Remember them start on South Africa in a 1652. Them start on Jamaica in a 1655. The Spanish was here in a 1492. You understand? So all of these people are foreign to us. It's as simple as that. So when the so-called black people on the mainland, you know, get a little bit of information, they don't decide to burn or loot for them own place anymore. Once them say riot, away I say, man, I take plane and I go over Hollywood, cause them say riot over there. You understand? All on high-end stores, and that's how the people them are moved to now. So it kind of put a dent in a phone thing. Once upon a time, when I infiltrate the people and movement, when I just instigate to destroy them, their own communities. Now them a move out of them community, leave that intact. You get me? And go look at the foreigners' place. All of the foreigners will have them businesses, them corporations. And then you get upset. I say, boy, the original people were there, were only come enslave. And I call them all different kind of terms and names. Yeah, so they should not be compensated for the atrocities of your people, starting with Columbus. That's what I said. Boy, it's going to be interesting going forward when people really get to comprehend, say, hey, hold on, we're not African. Oh, then the African now and the American them now are come together. Hold on. And all the Indian them will look like them. Hold on. And all the Asian them will look, we don't want that. So all the brown people them now will leave the white side and come over our side now. Because Mexican, we quick for saying white more than him saying black. And all of these are the variation. Puerto Ricans, all of them are the same. Them are going to say them white more than them black. But when them say we stand up now and rise up now, then them are going to switch it up again. This is why we have to watch them people here and watch them carefully. And a platform like this, people feel listen to them, because this money attack for a whole nation of people. Don't let them fool you. Go ahead, Sir Gerard Taylor.
And that's why everything that has happened since 1492 is nothing more than one long series of crimes for which we are all guilty. And so those rights and the indulgent, even loving way that they were treated by the media, they were the outward manifestation of something that's really been building for decades. And that is the conviction that the only thing that's really wrong with the United States is white people. Now, it's true that even in the 1960s, there were some very far-sighted people that already had us pegged. In 1967, the writer Susan Sontag wrote that the white race is the cancer of human history. She was way ahead of her time, wasn't she?
Right, that. We don't hear nothing about that. No, man. We're not going to be so audacious. We are say, watch out. When we look upon history, we are say the people look like I, permeating the earth. And then when them come with them Renaissance, that's when everybody now start look pale. All the paintings that was dark become white. The areas that used to be populated by dark people are now populated by white. And where does these white people derived from Gerard. What's your point of origin? I can guarantee it's not this hemisphere. Gerard Taylor, you and all of who you represent, since you want to take it on that level. Yeah, man. You know, I'm gonna go catch you, you know. I don't know how everybody else a miss your thing. And when you speak, you definitely speak at us. Yeah, man, you know, speak to your people, you know, you're speaking at us. And I'm on catch it, Gerard. And you know me catch it. Yeah, man. You know me catch it, yeah.
But she was then considered a freak. Now we have to look back upon her as a prophet. And this vicious little idea of hers became the ugly duckling that matured into this beautiful white swan of critical race theory. And that is why white fourth graders and white corporate executives are actually made up to stand and to confess in front of everyone, if not in so many words, that they are the cancer of human history, that they are the inherent and hereditary oppressors of blacks, Indians, women, homosexuals, Muslims, handicapped.
Stop it. Stop it. Yeah, man. The style there is a different style you take. Everybody are not the same. Cause me talk some say white man on TV got killed by other white man in Mississippi. You understand? So we know there is good and bad everywhere. We now can just get this big paintbrush. Like how you would have say all darkies are no good. All darkies should be controlled. We now go use now one paintbrush and paint everyone. Salute. Yeah, man. Step by step. Step by step.
Cat people, fat people, foreigners, BIPOCs of all kinds, transsexuals. And in case I've left anybody out, that while they were oppressing every human on earth, they were also raping the planet. That's what we white folks do. Calling us cancer is an insult to myeloma and leukemia, if you ask me. And so, interestingly enough, the same people who revile us and tell us how awful and horrible we are, they assure us that we are swathed in layer after layer of lovely, soft privilege, and that we live in a society that is structurally designed to just waft us effortlessly to the top. No effort at all. The school district of Edina, Minnesota, it's a city that's 88% white. It puts its white janitors and its white bus drivers through white identity or anti-racist thinking with a very simple formula. Whiteness equals white privilege plus white supremacy. It's as simple as 2 plus 2 equals 4. Being white is a combination of white supremacy and white privilege. And so these bus drivers and janitors, as they drive a bus or as they mop a floor, they are spreading the venom of white supremacy. Now, you all know the story of the emperor's new clothes. The emperor apparently fell into the hands of a couple of flim-flam artists, probably the direct ancestors of Susan Sontag and maybe Robin DiAngelo. And they claim that they can weave him beautiful clothes that are visible only to intelligent people. And so he shows up and he presents the emperor with these lovely, obviously imaginary clothes. And he puts them on, and proud as a peacock, he's strutting down the street. Everybody is taken in by this complete farce until a little child blurts out, "No, he's in his underwear." And the spell is broken, and everyone comes to his senses. Well, if only it were so easy. Our entire ruling class is running around in its underwear. Some of them are buck naked, as far as I'm concerned. But you can shout yourself hoarse, and it makes no difference. You can point out one huge mound of baloney, and they offer you an even huger mound. For example, you can explain patiently, data in hand, that the reason Blacks and Hispanics don't perform at the same level as whites and Asians is because of this little matter of racial differences in IQ. And what do they say? They say race doesn't even exist. Race doesn't exist. And then you ask, well, if that's true, how do we know who has white privilege? And how do we know whom to hire in order to increase diversity? And they say, no, you got it all wrong. People don't have race, they are racialized. And then you just realize you're dealing with cuckoo birds. This stuff is really so crazy that only white people could possibly come up with it and convince themselves that it's true. Can you imagine anybody in the Black legislative caucus saying to the boys, calm down, fellas, race is just a social construct? No. They don't fall for that. Or some guy's running around in his underwear, raging about just the terrible oppression of assigning so many police to the Black part of town. And you patiently explain, well, that's simply because that's where there's more crime. And they say, no, you got it wrong. It's the presence of policemen who somehow bewitch Black people into committing crime. And the solution is to abolish the police and defund.
Now, salute people. I kind of missed a little bit out of this thing. Only true I was kind of interrupted. But again, just catching this side of it. This is why I'm an advocate for my people, for go easy on the criminality. Yeah, man, go easy on the criminality. If not criminality and not crime now go on right here, then we don't need no, police protection, we don't need no police investigation, we don't need no police intrusion. This is why I'm not there and I talk about my bun police this and bun police that. Good and bad they everywhere. And I man know so we need the service, our public officials, our public, police officers. You get me? Because I care where a man say, boom. All when you get a flat tire, you don't mind when you say, boy, you don't even have a jack. You don't mind, you can't put in, but you don't even have a jack. You say a policeman, you say, yo, brethren, lend me a jack. They must stop and give a jack. You get me? A man bust gunshot off a year or chase you, where you think you run? You not run going to your house, You run going to a police station. You run go up the military barracks if you know where it is, or you're in that proximity. You understand? So I like what they are say, hey, Ray, we say, yo, anyhow, our people, we are say them are suffer and them poor and them this and that beside. So watch ya. No criminality. You get me? Make we just turn an entrepreneur then. You get me? Make a portion and we go chop out some bush and we burn some coal and one set of we have that set of money there and the business there go on. You get me? And next set say, watch ya. We are buy some cheap this and some cheap that and a yassa with it. And you go in a location where the municipal people can excuse you, at least give you a few. You get me? Till you gather yourself and head to some market and spread out. We have to find a way, man. And if you are trade, you do a little trade with your local people and you do that in a way where, it's respected. It's respectable. They are them respect each other. Them kind of way there. Boy, me I tell you. All when I talk this, I know a fantasy. The reality is something else. And this are the experience. The reality is something else. The reality is something else. I see all that thing I want to send me. And when I look on the information, I say them have some names and I say, who them people are? Then them people are not supposed to be old people. How them people are get tangled up like this? Then you have to say to yourself, boy, that's one of them things there, It's just a sad. Because you say it's like them kind of tribalism and have no end. There is so much incident where are going out there where we would hear about, where me not see it make the news. Me not see it make the news at all. Even, you know, the bloggers things and when I really catch it yet. Now, whole heap of thing are going. Yeah, I said, John, I want it to go fix, I want it to go end. But we know, sir, them time, yeah, they have to forward. Like a purging or a cleansing. It's crazy out the people. And our people are destroy each other upon a scale where they say it's like genocide, but we don't look at it that way. We just say criminality. Yeah, man. And we have some people who are really them bad. Yeah, man. Them for really go up on a garbage pile. Like some of them money we are mess with these little tiny babies. Listen, we have to eradicate some of them people from out of the earth. And that is a fact, that is a truth. So when I see it going out, let me say, watch your judgment. A judgment, man. Yeah, man. And who, you know, teach with these things, who infiltrate with. We show so much information where foreign people involve themselves in our local business and destroy even our own people in the process. We show them information. This is why I can't get in a politics, like, you know. Yeah, man, I can't mess with them things, man. It's too, you know, it's too outside of the people's best interest. That's why I can't get into the politics. Because you will get into politics and the very same politicians and the same politics just wipe you away for nothing at all. When you see all a place like Eventide Home, remember when all them places that burned down and a beer excitement and thing, and now in this 2022, because them thing that happened in 1980 and in 2022, we are here say boy are some CIA type of people. And them CIA type of people, back then them usually look like Gerard Taylor, a theme people them. Yeah man, a Gerard Taylor. A very same money, a female organization that is. You understand? Them money support and promote those things. For them interests is for the United States Corporation. I always listen to him. Him not talk about no America per se. Them always a corporate people, the corporation are for them interests, are for them creation. They make him go on like him is against anybody, or one people him is against and it's us. You understand? And I not see nothing wrong with that, because I have to look out for feeling best interests. Or just we get tricked and assimilate and start fight each other for benefit Gerard Taylor. But step by step, my people. Step by step. The brave may fall but never yield. And we say bold and brave. We say firm and strong. Yeah, man. You know, can just wipe we out, man. Yeah, man. We are here. We have always been here. And you, foreign man, Gerard Taylor, came here and spoiled us. That's the truth.
You've got to credit these people with a lot of imagination. Now, we like to think of ourselves as a rational race, but the truth is, white people are old hands at very, very crazy stuff. And there was a time.
Yeah, I tell you something like Gerard Taylor, you know. When him said that, you know what come to mind? Some little town, in some little location on the mainland there, where you call those kind of ones hillbillies, you know? Them ones where, you know, walk with some long shotgun and them thing, the long rifle, and if them ever see a nigger, you get me? They must string up a nigger. Yeah, man. When him said that, it remind me, something will come to mind is like when me all a travel, through me is a travel and thing, I'm stopping all a little town, I get gas, and when I remember I pull up in a little town, Rasta, I think me in a BMW. I think me I use a gas card them time, like, I mean, too much itching, brethren. You want to see how the people them a look for me, cause that stop that is a stop what needed. Make sure me not go ever low up on gas, so me have to feel like me need to stop in other area. Cause that did far from the highway, and it was a little. And this was broad daylight, and when I say nobody looking like I down to the little pig, them look for me like them I say, who the alien here? You know? And this thing I go on the mainland. You have people on the mainland like that when I see I more than upon TV thing. And that's a fact. Yeah, man. Just like how you have people on our land here where they know nothing about certain things only because of TV. So them use them kind of thing if they place themselves, you know, in some beautiful position with imagery. Yeah, man. Good and bad in everything. You have some dark-skinned people where it's just as vile as some of the light-skinned people, as some of the pale people, and some of the other aliens them where they out there. Good and bad in all things. So we work with the good, straight, righteousness. That we say, you know. So you say you Gog and me Gog with a powerful nuclear weapons. Watch your man. Now come to an end by fire in the west. That's how it go. By fire in the west. Them thing they are prophecy, man. Ada asan arehaya. Asuna da bishata. Anada uwasa. Uwasa. Unada uwashita. Lightning, earthquake, and thunder. I wanna say, I wanna come here, come see we. I wanna impose on a colonial authority on us and wipe out a lot of our people. And then now you come, you know, fabricate a story. And I say, boy, you know, oh no, forget the glory. No. No. We are here. That's why we're there. Yeah, man, for blaze lightning and thunder pound with enough information we wanna share. And we can now come and say, hold on, and that him say, hold on, man. Well, this is what we have to say. Gerard Taylor. Like you're in a jaker, in a ramp for talk truth, in a play, you talk the truth. Yeah, man.
When Catholics and Protestants used to slaughter each other, the church burned heretics and astronomers at the stake. We had the French Revolution. We had the Russian Revolution. We even gave 18-year-olds the vote. But
so, you know, said the American people, the original American people, the real true, what you call black people, what you call Negro, what you call African American, what you call colored, what you call Indian, the original ones, Martin Luther and Malcolm X type. You know, set them free, want to their liberation. When them say them want liberation, and give them some garbage about civil rights. People don't want the rights. Them already have that. They want them freedoms. Or you get rights without freedom. What is that? Rights and freedom go hand in hand. You get me? And you can't give no rights because we have it inherently. And that my people miss. That's why I get a stronghold upon the mainland, because our mainland about them want to vote. And when them see some dark-skinned man in a Congress and in a them little government, hear our people know, yes, I wanna we what? Every single senator wanna have around there. And congressman wanna have from back then, even at the South, they are product of messaging nation. Every single one. Every one have white daddy. Everyone. So that kind of different, cause my mommy look like me and my daddy look like me. You get me? My mother born, yeah. My father born, yeah. Yeah, we originate here. We sprung from the ground, wanna say. We are tucked on. This is who we are here. Why I can't accept that? One have a problem with that. And why my mainlander them not stand up and I shout that? You understand? You're foreign to us. You've always been foreign to us and you'll always be foreign to us. That is the truth. What is your point of origin? And let's solve it. Let's settle this right now. What's your point of origin? All of y'all, talk, speak up. What's your point of origin? Viking? Viking? Or is it Six King? What's your point of origin? Them thing they wanna now ask these people and challenge them and then wanna stand up and say, yes, I wanna come from, wanna originate, yes, sir. And all of these foreigners come soon. You understand? So them supposed to compensate, you know, every single time.
But none of these absurdities was a war against us declared by us because we're us. This is really newfangled, potentially fatal stuff. We have set forces in motion that, unless we stop them, guarantee oblivion for us. And the worst of the racial craziness.
You hear that? If you don't stop them, it's guaranteed oblivion for us. That's the narrative of a parasite. No apology. Forgive me? No apology. That's the narrative of a parasite. You hear that? What is commerce? What is a commercial business? What is your birth registration form? What does your birth certificate represent? Isn't it human trafficking? People, we are woke, right? Yeah, man, I think we'll wake up, man. Listen again. Wasn't my word.
We had the Russian Revolution. We even gave 18-year-olds the vote. But none of these absurdities was a war against us declared by us because we're us. This is really newfangled, potentially fatal stuff. We have set forces in motion that, unless we stop them, guarantee oblivion for us. And the worst of the racial craziness started right here in the United States. All these nutty ideas that have culminated in what I call the adoration of the Negro. They're made in USA.
Bro, y'all came here and subjugate a people, specifically on the mainland first. Because you came through the mainland, you sent Spain come in 1492, and then you came through the mainland and came here. After you mess around on the mainland there. So it is interesting if you're here, you know.
Other white people all around the world seem to have lapped them up. But we were the ones who brewed up these poisons in industrial strength and shipped them all over the world. Now, historically, this really isn't what you would expect. Not all that long ago, the United States was really the admiration of the world. There are, of course, still plenty of people who want handouts. They want a piece of American wealth. But does anyone really admire us?
Oh, I know what Columbus and his people saw here. Weren't we a wealthy people here? We show information. We want to come here for gold. We want to go in South Africa for gold, mountains of gold. That's you guys. So what you talk about now? Where you say somebody else now want your wealth? Where you get your wealth from? Did they came out of those mountains as Vikings with wealth and brought it here to America where anybody else now want to steal it? Where you get your wealth from? Gerard Taylor and your people. I can see so you're really upset and mad with me now that we start figure things out for ourselves. Now that we not depend on a pastor and on a church for tell with this or tell with that. And now that we not subject yourself to your foreign colonial institutions of learning. Now we are what you call autodidactic. We are teach ourselves as we go along and we are learn as fast as the speed of thought. So you have a problem. Look at you. I know you're mad. I know you're mad, but watch me now. That's give thanks. 'Cause it is a process. As Bob Marley would have said. Hey, you can't fool some of them, some of the time, but you never can fool all of them all the time. Here I am he. Now my people have it. Now we shall see.
I think so. Admiration, that's all gone. And as for how we got started, we were really quite blessed. Just poisons in industrial strength and shipped them all over the world. Now, historically, this really isn't what you would expect. Not all that long ago, the United States was really the admiration of the world. There are, of course, still plenty of people who want handouts. They want a piece of American wealth. But does anyone really admire us? I don't think so. Admiration, that's all gone. And as for how we got started, we were really quite blessed. Just compare the way the United States began compared to Latin America. If George Washington had ended up like Simon Bolivar, he would have had to put down a rebel army raised by Alexander Hamilton. Georgia and Massachusetts would have left the Union immediately, guns blazing. He would have.
Hey, foreign man, all the way you talk about, you get me? We had a war. All of them Indian war there. I and I people are war. The Trails of Tears was against I and I people, Negroes in America, the so-called American blacks. You understand? You use your CIA imagery and a portrait a different group of people to enhance your usurpation of the original people of this land. And that is a truth. And I know you're going to hear me. Because when I live on this island, I highlight your thing, them you people fascinated with this thing. I know you're kind. A man like me, when I say, where him come from? I want to make him escape. Why him is speaking like that? That's what I say. Which part that in there? Jamaica? That place again? That same Jamaica there? Where everybody where great come from? Are in that? That's what I say. But yes, I am he. And none of know way because we are known. I am he. One do not know way because we are unknown. However, I am he, Gerard Taylor, because you represent a unique group of people. You are the elite, Gerard Taylor, and you are the spokesman for the elite. I know you. Yeah, man. I know you well, Gerard Taylor. And apparently, yeah, you cannot recognize I because you touch on your 1492. Because true, me know that's me I start. Me not talk about now. Me originated in Africa and all of them mess there. That are for the people them where, in other world there. We originate right here, Gerard Taylor. And you and your people came here and see us. You get me? And you slaughter us. And we have the history for sure. So don't come now and go on like so you want to justify anything at all about United States. Who you represent? What corporate entity? What lifeless entity? What soulless entity you are represent, Gerard Taylor? Hey, mainlander, I want to see that man here. Lick some shot on him. Eh? I want to see that man here. If even salute him and make him know, say, yeah, we give thanks for your truth, because you kind of point out some things to it. But we can show you, say, watch out, not care what you say, you not have no ground for stand on. Why? Because you are the alien here. You're the foreigner here. And yes, Columbus are your guy's architect. You get me? This is why I don't want to call Washington, D.C. New Columbia. We know on a plan. We see it. Yeah, man. But only that try wipe out a whole lot, but it not gonna work. And whatever war we not try orchestrate for draw the American populace inside a phone conflict. I hope my people them realize that watch ya, we not get involved in a foreign conflict. You understand? Because whether I know it or not, them are gonna try destabilize the mainland over there. They shall do it. Then if they go on with 9/11 and all the other craziness, you know, things, so them are gonna allow some kind of mess for going around there. Yeah, man, for come as on a savior again. And then have some people on their side that say, oh, yeah, that we need, that we don't need, no. All we need is phone withdraw a presence from our place. You understand? And the good people want to work with us and build with us, you know, we can find a location for them. You understand? Righteousness, that's all it is. Goodness, that's all it is. You understand? And when them say evil, we can look which part the evil they have nice sides of the north, where them people they always have war. Them not a sunshine, you know. All them have a snow. And all them can do is war. I mean, you know, these people are something else. You guys are different from us. Yeah, man. You guys are totally different from us. However, step by step, you know what I mean? We're not racist like you for say we hate your kind. And that we depend. You understand? We say we love our people, all when them not know we, all when them not love we. We love our people. You understand? We not hate nobody. Yeah, man, the Most High in the Bible talk who him love and talk who him hate. And the Most High in the book where everybody know about. I say, watch out. You don't even have to worry, you know. Yeah, man, we're going to deal with it. So all we have to do is just shine light on information and say, people, a criminality them I use for, you know, trap most away and show them structure the thing away where, you know, if you don't go out, they go work for them. Them I tell us, boy, them bills away have light bill, water bill, car payment, you know what I mean? You know, can satisfy those things. So as such, boom, you have to go out, they go work. We don't have to tell you don't work. Free will, we say. Free will. Respect each other's free will. That's my thing that I not tell yourself to go left now right. I say watch out. If there is something we're good and if there is something we're bad, choose good. If something right and something wrong, choose right. That's all we are saying. You choose. You choose. Yeah, man. We just shine light on alternative information to make people can look and say, wait, I want to go on. And what him said? Did he really say that? Or who him represent? You know what I mean? Where it come from? Them kind of thing. Truth. Yeah, man. Anyway, truth, they will not mind a pass through and hang out. We don't have no problem with it. Irrespective of it form. Yeah, man. So if Gerard Taylor there talk film truth, then we don't have to come here where he must say, man, and salute him think of film truth. And how much time we are talking about truth all when nobody not hear we. You understand? So watch out. Irrespective of what you said, Gerard Taylor, you have to comprehend the fact that your ancestors' point of origin is not here. So if you even born on this landmass, you see, if you ever born here, you would have a black nanny. If you would ever born here, Gerard Taylor, you would have suck a whole heap of black nanny titty. So all of the talk and ask all of your friends them, all of them, they have black nanny inside of the house. You understand? And all of them that suck on a black nanny breast. Or more and grown. Not mothers. It's our mothers grown up. When I now go talk them through that. When I go brag on a rape a woman, but when I go brag on our women nurture and teach for mama how to nurture. I'm not going to brag on that. Gerard Taylor. I know you represent a whole nation at once. Me know that, but me know you attack for the elite class. When you step out in there, so everybody lit up the place, and me not see no man like I. You have to give me an invitation, because I will carry my team, come sit in and reason with you, and ask you some pointed question like, what you chat about? And your point of origin of the yasa. And you're going to tell me, say, then where you chat about, in Africa you come from? And me I say, where you chat about? Prove it. You can't prove it, but I'm going to prove it, so you take away a lot of people from here. You understand? For create chaos over Africa, that's what you do. Create problem everywhere you go, and then you come like you're the savior. You're going to fool some of us some of the time, but not all the time. Hey, foreign man, watch out. We're not fall for your foreign plan. You're not going to get no race war around here. Because we know say white man, they when I agree with a lot of your foreign plan. We know that. Because if white man are got dead for some other black man and all them that fight for civil rights, then when man starts to have freedom and liberty of self and individual and the community, then it's a whole different level that. Whole heap of other white man are going to come fight for that. So I'm not going to fool myself and go on like, enslave other white man. Are you guys start the slavery? You understand? We up in on a little Russian area. That's why China so close to Russia around there. You understand? China would have to build a wall to keep out China, where you see that where them would everybody afraid of China because China kind of slick with for them thing. But China did have to build a wall, a great wall to keep out you, Gerard Taylor, and your people. Say a lie now. Say it's not so.
He's been driven out of office after 3 assassination attempts, banished from his native state of Virginia, and died in poverty. And unlike Washington, at the end of his life, Simon Bolivar thought everything he'd done was in vain. Some of his last words are said to have been, "The 3 greatest fools of history have been Jesus Christ, Don Quixote, and I." He also said, "All who serve the revolution have plowed the sea." How sad, and how unlike our own founders, who went to their graves honored, beloved, convinced that they had done their duty. We got off to a good start. And we also had the good sense to begin with the best possible citizenship policy. As you know, when the United States, brand new country, had to decide who was going to be an American. How sad, and how unlike our own founders, who went to their graves honored, beloved, convinced that they had done their duty. We got off to a good start. And we also had the good sense to begin with the best possible citizenship policy. As you know,
the best citizenship policy.
When the United States, brand new country, had to decide who was going to be an American.
Again, when the United States, a brand new country, is going to decide who is going to be an American. Now, tell me something. What year was this? Where you and your United States create a brand new country in a my land called America. People, wanna get it? The United States, which is a corporation within the United States of America, which is a parent organization within America. This United States of America is a foreign construct. And from the United States of America, them create the United States Incorporated. You understand where all of these states and everybody lock in on the corporate level. You understand? So even when the state that they are, so them have this and that, them still incorporated. You get me? And then them go as far as introduce a whole heap of change and then them privatize what them choose to privatize and then them create them 14th Amendment citizens and them rearray. These are all foreign construct, my people. So all of the participation where we are engaging in, it's foreign to us. When them create them article of confederations and I create all of these things, them say India not for participating for them thing. When them have the 1600s one-pound treaty, it make it clear. I say, yeah, we the original people in our own canoe, and if them are come and I come each of them in a for them canoe, we in a business with for them thing, and them no business with our thing. But because for them thing wasn't original, for them thing that have no power and strength, then they have to assimilate us or incorporate us within their thing by way of the voter registration act. And them thing they are 1965, them come in with them voters right the way everybody can vote. You understand? Now our people want go school in a for them school and mix up with them, all of these things. And we empower these things. Very first, look on Cecil Roads, where everybody, I remember when my good brethren, Detective Sergeant Kirk Roach, asked me about road scholar. And you see, when the man asked me, again, me I say, yo, but I ever give them thing that an energy. Why? Because it's out of my, say, scope. You understand? Remember, at Tivoli Garden High School, me there. And when I do my own studying and search and research, if me did for tell the man say, hey, I'm a bunny a road scholar and the man would look for me a different way. But you see, when me can present the document where other people are talk what these men have done, that's all we do now. We bring the evidence, we bring the information, we qualify what we are dealing with and bring closure. That's what we do. We allow these kind of men to express what we are said. We allow them to talk it out of their own mouth. You understand? So when Uno say, this is why them now can do nothing, because me now come up with nothing where different or strange or new. All we do is shine light on the information when these very same guys present and provide for us. It's just that most of it is tucked away. And then people are so distracted. They want to look at the effect of things. They don't necessarily want to know what's the cause of all of this. A man will quick for say, yeah, me originate in Africa. When? What point? We are talk about? When? A man tell us 3, 5, 7,000 years ago. And then mother said, then clown. What that have to do with now? Are you in Africa right now? Clown. 1492 I was here and a lot of people like I was here and foreign people come and misplace us. Now them have some narrative I say 12 million slaves came from West Africa to the Caribbean. This is a new narrative in the people. When we are sure that them take we from Yassa in the 1700 and the 1800 and carry go over West Africa. Now them have a new narrative. You understand? I said them carry a whole host of we come out. When was this? And show with the documentation of these things. And watch me now. Them kind of slick with this kind of narrative because them now point to Jamaica and say all of them come at Jamaica, X come at them not doing that. Hear what them are talking about now? Belize and some little small island with some small island people. And them people that them a trick. Because them can't carry around on the island, yes, sir. Them can't try our people like this. When them they Christianize our people and have our people drunk, now our people is out of that. You understand? And next thing is the alcohol where our people are drink. That is another thing where the man that me use for mash we up. You get me? Give it beer, alcohol. Now it's fun. Listen, I have a bottle of roots where it going to cost $10,000 for just a 1 liter of that bottle. I go and see how much people go and buy that. Because I say man pay $25,000 for some acid where them are putting at them poison. 25. So watch out. And I go and make sure we have some things with some herbs in it. At them way that we are try structure, yeah, where we have some buckle and a $25,000 for your buckle of them wine there. And you see when you take one sip natural, you just go lay down and go sleep. Yeah, natural, nature, our thing. We burn them alcohol. People who have to withdraw from them alcoholic beverages and see how we're going to affect them economy. Them whole heap of white rum, they will worry them a drink a joke thing. But it's true, you know, Mr. Free Will. Brethren, yesterday morning, nice Sabbath, I just go jog. And me and two warriors just take on the road. And me I tell you, it was a joy. That's the man that knocked me this morning again, and we just go up there. You get me? And to me, is a man that run Friday evening, you know, with some weights on my foot, car more time I saw it, but me have to, you know, the energy high where me have to throw weights on me and go out there, go run same way, and a high step same way. Just a bunk same way, yeah. That's me, when me a pass a group of warrior and them a heal and me a say, yo, they are them for come lock, yo. Early morning we are round them up the warrior, them that they are drink and as me I say, warrior, I will not deal with it. So right now, me have to try to organize a thing where we just have some female and whole heap of our warrior them, you know. We want a woman them a run with we, so we not go run too fast, we just go, you know. Yeah, slow jog, real slow. Yeah, man. Now we start run to the hill, man, organize and we get in some exercise and we get in some togetherness. Boom, we just go link up and we build down by the riverside there. So we build over upon the hillside. At them way there, we have to come together. Well, I have to go bring it together. I have to go just really bring it together, you know, and work with the good people and thing. And even the bad people them where change up them thing and become good. And then good with us work with them too. But that's it that. Yeah man, we just try to do everything we're good every time. Anything we're right, we just do that every time. You know what I mean? Yeah man, that means when we do if people just know say righteousness. Yeah man, like your own guy want to look at it, righteousness. But again, we have to plant the seed, because you have some man who say, oh, them man, they are fantasy, them man, that talk. Yeah, but we have to plant the seed, man. We have to let go some of them criminality there. I mean, no, I just talk still, because more times some people, you know, put you in a situation where it seems like you're not a choice. Yeah, man. It seems like you're not a choice. But sometimes patience, you know, is another energy that where people can, you know, familiarize themselves with. Patience, you know, perseverance, you know. Yeah, man. Endurance, you know. Yeah, man. Go in your proverb now, warrior, and beat up some proverb. Not just a beat their war psalms. Beat up some proverbs, man, and get in some wiseness, you know. Make sure become familiar with you. So when man like Gerard Taylor speak, you smile, you know what I mean? Because you know that spirit there. Yeah, man, I care what kind of a money suit it, you know that spirit there. Yeah, man. Step by step, you know, my people. And my mainland that them afraid of them money, I know. And I have to stand up for my mainland people, you know. And all of them, you know, would have said them have problem with me. You understand? I have to stand up for my mainland people, especially the one them when a college grad. You get me? Stand up for the one them where just, you know, the regular ones them. The ones them where I push down some regular work. The ones them when I drive in a Bentley. And them ones them I stand up for. Because the Bentley driver them are usually the one them will sell out because them want Bentley. You get me? So them are gonna sell out all for them mama. If you have that image there. Them kind them leave them alone. Them not have interest in our way I deal with. We are talking about freedom, freedom minion, freedom main. You get me? Them society one that them in bed with the oppressors and the colonizers. You get me? Them love Gog and make Gog. Them marry into them bloodline there. So them now go really, them will look like we, but them now have our best interest at all. So I man will stand up for I mainlander, just like how I stand up for I people. And if this is the only voice in this wilderness, well, I am he, whether you like it or not. I am he. Yeah, man. Gerard Taylor, you better put together one of them Zoom things that so me and you can chop it up. Yeah, lick some shot, but you know, want to talk the truth. One question I go ask you, what are your point of origin? That's it. And if you answer that, we don't have to talk no more. You get me? Yeah, man, you just go in your vault and bring a mountain of gold. Come give me. That's it. What's your point of origin? It's not here. You can't claim England neither. You get me? Because I know you. And you can't claim around Europe around there, so because I know you. You understand? I know you. Gerard Taylor.
For the founders, it was simple. The only people who could be Americans were free white persons of good character. Can you imagine? Can you imagine sense to begin with the best possible citizenship policy? As you know, when the United States, brand new country, had to decide who was going to be an American, for the founders, it was simple. The only people who could be Americans were free white persons of good character.
Ask Mariah
Can
for
you
that.
imagine? Can you imagine a United States that had been faithful to that ideal of the founders? What a different place it would be. Well, how did we go wrong? There is an infinite number of different answers. But one thing is for sure, there was always going to be a race.
Oh, yeah, man. You see, it's me take on that thing, and I love our next warrior, do some due diligent research and take on this thing the same way. You get me? And the little points them when me miss and not touch. One the warrior them apply themselves and address them thing. Because me I tell you, going forward, them things are going to be essential and important. When them money speak, we have to rebut it. When the money speak, somebody from our people have to stand up and say, hey, I rebut any claim you try to make as original American here. Because we have the document for proof that it's no such thing. And as I said, Columbus brought y'all here. Columbus. And him never just brought your kind, him brought all of the mix up kind. Everybody him bringing a theme boat. I wouldn't be surprised if a Chinaman never dep on Columbus boat when he come here. I would not be surprised. Because a Chinaman a pass through them place a long time. You understand? Just like the Vikings, when I pass through this place a long time. I'm not fool with it. You understand? Do not fool us here upon this rocket. And I man now gonna play for Carly out with all due respect.
This problem. The Indians were here from the beginning. And
hey, talk the truth. Who are the Indian? Who you call the Indian? When they come here and say some warrior with them big afro, who them call Indian? My mainland people. Why don't want to stand up? Watch ya. West Indian people. I, so-called Caribbean people. Stand up. You understand? Like we as a people, what we call Ahuuak people, what them call Arawak, we Ahuuak. Because it's only from an Ahuuak this thing can derive from, You understand? The energy only could derive from we say we are Ahuuak. You get me? Yeah, man. Yes. Yeah, man. We are what is known as autochthon. When I hear no Rasta use them kind of term and words, yeah. Autochthon was sprung from the ground. I want to say it. Gerard Taylor. Me know a man like I will make you uncomfortable, you know. Yeah, man. Because you say, yo, how am I deal with? You get me? I'm not going to dare fit here when I step forward with anything else. Yes. Yes, we can go up on Zoom and chop it up. Yeah, man, because I know you have that angelic information where you get from the fallen ones. And me have the most high divine in my plan. So we can chop it up. Because me know, say you and your kind have to come to high and say, yo, king, talk to the most high on our behalf. All I have to come to high. Yeah, and that time they go come quick. I have to beg and plead with all I want to say on our power. You understand? I don't know enough what me I say. I don't know exactly what it is. Because me alone I say it this way. I don't know. Yeah, man. And people like I go always there in the earth. You get me? We would just stay unknown for so long. Where I say, yeah, I want to get rid of all of them. And then boom, here I am. I am he, Gerard Taylor. Gog and me Gog. You get me? I know you'd work with the Arab them around there. You understand? And the next set of ones west of them, you know, I move with the Isa energy. We know these things. God, this is how you power up. You couldn't just power up by yourself. You need to mix yourself with I. You get me? But when you come amongst the pure blood and an easy thing for mix, you know what I mean? It's a different kind of spirit animate we. You understand? Yeah, man, a completely different kind of spirit animate we. Our thing ancient. Yeah, man. And not just ancestral, man. Ancient. Yeah, man. So we chose the ancient part. And we wield a sword of fire. Them sword that we wield, sword of fire. Yeah, man. And we surround ourselves with water, same way. So we give thanks. I remember we're up on the island here, you know, we're surrounded by water, you know. Yet when we speak, our words are like flaming fire. Yeah, man, we pierce to the heart of that adversary. Yeah, man. Judgment for that adversarial power. So we gonna play the Mickey Mouse game on the Mickey Mouse level. Yeah, man. We drape on no principality. Yeah, man, no powers where we not hidden in high places and low places. But we leave the low places for the ones that we are deal with it there. I drown out on a high place. You get me? A little up, man. I say, watch ya. Not care what I say out of phone mouth. You get me? With there. And truth will always be supreme. And hear our truth now. 1492, foreign people invade the place, and you would included Gerard Taylor. And anytime me and you, Bucker, get for talk, one question. What's your point of origin? And that's it. That's it.
Falling prey, as white people so often seem to do, to the idea of what they think is going to be cheap labor, we imported another race problem by bringing in Africans. And I'm not content with two.
Hey, when did you import Africans, my good brother? And did you not give those Africans you imported repatriation and send them along their way a long time ago? You have all of those things in your document. So why you make it sound like it's a general thing? Well, African there where, they are them import and them still there under slavery. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. I know better. This is why I try touch base with these things. So you see some of my learned colleagues out there, them can really rip this thing wide open. Yeah, man, if them so choose. But I'm not afraid. No, man. Check it.
New race problems. In 1965, we turned our immigration policy on its head.
You hear that? 1965. You remember me talk about what? The right to vote. When them assimilate to now and think of something good and them a laugh and say, yeah, man, we have them now. We have them trapped now. And then from majority of us used to be Republican, and then for some switcheroo go on, everybody now become Democrat, and Democrat was a set of people who used to slaughter us. You understand? But again, me not like politics, because it's foreign to I and I people.
What had originally been designed to keep America majority white, we got rid of that, and we imported every other possible race problem on earth. And so the story of America has changed. It's gone inside out. The story used to be that we discovered this continent. We tamed it. We built it. We gave it its institutions. We made America great. We built monuments to our heroes. And we got rid of that, and we imported every other possible race problem on earth. And so the story of America has changed. It's gone inside out. The story used to be that we discovered this continent.
Was this continent lost? Was this continent lost, just drifting in the ocean somewhere, or just drifting in space? This continent was so lost, we needed Gerard Taylor and his kind to discover this continent. That's where you're wrong. Red flag right there. Watch me. Take him away. Take him away right now. Yeah, man. Yeah, what? Test him and see how strong him is. Put him in that lion then there with all of them hungry lion there. And if him come out, then we'll put him in the furnace. We're so hot, we can't go close to it. And if him come out of that, then we can give him another test. And if him pass them 3 tests, then we can listen to what you said, Gerard Taylor. But right now, you never discover nobody, because we never lost. You get me? We never lost.
We tamed it.
You know, you're how wild me sound. It may sound like a man where you tame. When he must say him tame, he must say, boy, I'm domesticate us as a people, my people. How you think you can tame? You just complain how the man them loot your high-end shopping areas. That sound like you can tame anybody. What you can only do is pacify them, trick them, pacify them, give them some little this. It's like some man say, watch out, we got burn down the place, and a man say, watch out. Just show them some sugar and water and put 2 bread and some chicken and some fish and something, and just keep a party and that, quell that. And you see them just put up 2 sound system, and the man them will forget war, start DJ. You get me? The woman and the warrior them now, if they really get it going, them start broke out and big dance go on. So Babylon easily sway our people, because our people is like that. But it's not all of us, brethren. And all of us. And sometimes it only take one. Yeah, man. And in a group, it starts with one idea, one concept, and then it permeate, go out there and take on life. One. And here I am. I am he. I rebut any claim you foreign guys make. Here, I rebut it. I am no African. I've never been to Africa. I've never been an African. You understand? However, I salute and I am in solidarity with my African counterpart over there on that African hemisphere. Yeah, man, I salute those people. I sympathize with the oppression where those people go through. But again, free will. I represent I people here in this land, and by extension, the mainland, and anywhere them scatter. Once them say, yo, yeah man, me identify with that warrior the down there, then I'm my people. That's all. That's it. It's just like when people delegate them authority to Andrew Holiness. Andrew Holiness can say, oh, you mean I'm my people? Because them delegate a little of their authority. You get me? To that man. You get me? I didn't do that. I renounce it, all of those things. Yeah, man. Because them not normally give I and I full disclosure. You understand? Yeah, man. So the moment I learn, I just move away from the things that are conducive to our existence in a positive way. Free man do them kind of thing there, Gerard Taylor. Yeah, man, you gotta have a problem with I kind. You get me? Because some drape on you, elite, and this is the only opportunity for all of them and drape on them. Yeah, and make on a principality say, yo, who that? I mean, who that? I am he. Yeah, man. Unknown. Gerard Taylor, mad.
We built it, we gave it its institutions, we made America great, we built monuments to our heroes, and we felt pretty good about that. And then, generously and foolishly, we let in people from all over the world to live in a successful country that they themselves could never have built.
Hold on. They were white and they were slave. People, check out that tape. Matter of fact, just type in a Google, they were white and they were slave. And then check where are these white slaves coming from and where are they going to? And ask yourself this question. Were they moving on plane or were they on boats? You understand? Just type in a Google and then just do the research. You guys came here and saw us. And your migration, when you say, hey, we come and we landed on Plymouth Rock. You understand? That's you guys. That's not us. Yeah, man. That's you people, Gerard Taylor. But my people weren't aware that this is the case. Most of my people say, oh, we came here on slave ship and we are African because that was taught by your colonial institutions of learning. This is how you went and educate our people to subjugate our people, to annihilate our people. That's the truth. But the most I said, when on a plan, him wipe that away. Here we are. And we stand up as man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Gerard Taylor, Mr. Elite, Gog, and Magog, descendant. That's who you are. Yeah, man, you are those Khazars. Yeah, man, those who say they are Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. Gerard Taylor, Yeah, man. Salute. We identify who you are. That's why we can say we like your truth. 'Cause you not hide your thing. Yeah, man. You not fancy it up. You not disguise it. Yeah, so watch ya. This is where my advocacy is. Just like how my one is this. Freedom. Freedom in, freedom in. And yours is a white advocacy. So we can't knock you. Salute.
And so what's the story of America today? It's completely the opposite. We are the problem. We're the only real problem. And all of our heroes are actually criminals. And every white man, woman, and child and infant is a criminal from birth.
No, we not say that. We can't talk say Cecil Rhodes was a criminal. We can't talk say Columbus was a criminal. We can't talk a whole heap of others. Because why? The documents is there, verified. I know we are saying, are the people and we experience it as say it. You understand? Yeah, man. So you and your people is a warlike people. You know what them call the Vikings. You get me? The Six Kings, I honor that. Yeah, man, from the sides of the north. I honor that. Your people. Yeah, man. I keep saying it. Your point of origin is not here. Not in this hemisphere.
And what's more, the country that we thought was great and that seemed to attract people from all around the world was actually a pest hole. We were too stupid to know. But America was this cesspool of xenophobia, male chauvinism, homophobia, and racism. And so now, when we think of the third worlders who poured in, we weren't doing them a favor, they did us a favor. We were about to choke to death on our own miserable, bigoted homogeneity, and so they brought us diversity. They brought us America's greatest strength. And the more alien, incomprehensible, and unassimilable they are, the greater the strength they bring. They saved us from this horrible, almost all-white country that our ancestors had built. Now, I imagine some of you would have a little trouble finding Bhutan on the map. But I can assure you the Bhutanese have no trouble finding you. There are now 100,000 Bhutanese living in the United States. And in Clarkson, in DeKalb County, Georgia, they're 12% of the population. Well, what in heaven's name are Bhutanese doing in the United States? Well, I'll tell you. And I'll tell
Bhutanese. I forgot to look at what is a Bhutanese and who are the Bhutanese where Gerard Taylor talk about. Well, let me listen and see if him express what it is.
Tell you what any Bhutanese would tell you, so long as he's been to college. They'll tell you they bring us the fruits of diversity, which means that it's just fine if they don't speak English, don't have jobs, and live on welfare. They are saving us from the suffocating sameness that makes being in this room so uncomfortable for all of you. There's really not much that makes me angry than some Indian, some Indian immigrant from India who tells me that how glad we white people should be that those folks showed up. They act as if we should get on our knees and kiss their feet and just say, thank you, thank you, thank you for diversity. This has actually happened to me. Can you imagine going to China and saying to the Chinese, not a bad country, have you ever, there's one thing really wrong with it. Too damn many Chinese here. You need to liven the place up, with really anything but you lot.
People, are you listening to what Gerard Taylor said? Gerard Taylor tell the world, said America is a white man country. And then by them coming here, it was emptied and discovered this continent being empty. And him and them white folks came here. And for whatever reason, all different kind of foreigners came. And then, this diversity where, I guess we included in our talks that film people come say we, and them come spoil we, and create them whole concrete city. You understand? Them disrupt our waterways, them build over 2,000-3,000 dams on the mainland, damming up our waterways, rearranging our waterways. You get me? Removing people from location just by just the rearrangement of the waterways. Them not tell you how them flood cities, turn entire cities in a lake, in a pond. Them not tell you how them make Gulf field, huge, expensive, pretty Gulf field and some ancient mounds and our location where, them are, say Renaissance, a whitewash over. Them not gonna tell you these things. Gerard, I gotta give you his side, his perspective, when he's a foreign man in our land. You understand? And as such, he not have no kind of ground to stand on. God, this is what we call land pirate. What's your point of origin? When you say you discover this location, down to Columbus, say Arawak. You get me? Him come say us. You understand? That's it surprising why he must say, why are Indian there again? So I must Indian them. There is no way I can be 98% majority of the population here and the other 2% were foreign. I gotta say those foreigners are originated here and that 92% were brought here from some foreign location. That's fabrication. That's a fib. You understand? That's your story. This is why I'm here, to correct this thing and give you our point of view, our perspective, our way from this rock here. Why the mainlanders are afraid to stand up. Why is that? What's wrong?
Eskimos, that'd be great. New Guineans with feather in their hair. Afghan folks showed up. They act as if we could get on our knees and kiss their feet and just say thank you for diversity. This is actually happening. Can you imagine going to China and saying to Chinese, not a bad country, there's one thing really wrong with it. Too damn many Chinese here. You need to liven the place up, with really anything but you lot. Eskimos, that'd be great. New Guineans with feather in their hair. Afghans, Haitians, they'll really get this country going. Can you imagine that? But that, in effect, is what we invite everyone from around the world to say to us. Now, we haven't gone horribly wrong on the question only of race. Every ancient distinction that gives life meaning is now a vile prejudice. Men and women are interchangeable. Every religion is equally true. Every culture is equally beautiful. Every child can become a physicist. And if you disagree, you're a bigot. And one of the distinctions that has been completely smashed, of course, is the distinction about being American. I think one of the greatest insults is the idea that anyone can be an American because this is a proposition nation and being an American is just an idea. No less an authority than Joe Biden has assured us that this is so. And if it's an idea, well, what is the idea? What is the idea that makes you American? I mean, seriously, what is that idea? It's if it's really just an idea, then a Mongolian living in Europe who's never been to America can be just as American as any of us. I'm sure you've seen the pictures of these naturalization ceremonies where these goofy ladies from the Daughters of the American Revolution pressed little American flags into their hands, and they're all pledging allegiance to the United States. What do they think America means? If you ask them, what would it mean? I think to them, it's simply a place where they can live better than.
Gerard, those people who are pledged allegiance to the United States have nothing to do with America. They are United States citizens. They are corporate citizens, Gerard Taylor. I'm quite sure you're aware of that. So all when you talk, you get me? Me a burn out your double speech. You understand? So we don't worry about who chose to be United States citizen. You understand? Because you a product of that. It's just that you can only be a United States of America national, but you're never an original man from this land. Your point of origin is not here. So I care what kind of construct you create for place on yourself as, oh, this is a white country. Watch me now. Your 13 United States colonies can't make Yasa a white country want to wipe out as much Indian as you could, but couldn't. When me look upon Chicago, when me look upon New Orleans, when me remember Katrina, there is no state where you can say we as a people not exist outside of the places them want to make exclusive for UNO. This is why our people need to spread out and come out of them project type living there. There is too much land on the mainland for now lock in some concrete jungle and a war with each other and so on a tough. There them have to spread out where one on look on have property one have 2,000-3,000 acre, 100 acre, 50 acre, 70 acre, not now. A little square lot or a little how much over 400 people in a one building. And when I say 400, I should say 400 family, which can amount to 4,000 people in a one building. What kind of living that? What kind of living that mainlander? Is that any kind of living? You don't need to look at yourself, man. You understand? This is why I can't grasp what it is to be free, because I don't know nothing about the open air. I'm just surrounded by concrete. You understand? And when I need to jog a mile or 2 or 3 miles, you get me? I don't do nothing like that, because I can't leave on a block. And who I'm not afraid of? Some other people will look just like you. And then on the mainland, the scholars and elders now telling us, say, yo, enough of that. We don't not talk like that. This is where get man like Gerard Taylor narrative talks about the need to get police in our community. You understand? When we know, say, people there at Chicago, so them just wake up, and when them wake up and look, them just see some big box. And when them looking at a box, a peer gun. And when them go over the next side of town, the same story. So where them gun they come from? Drop from the sky. When me look upon the war I go on around there, I say, what? War, that means the people them were trade commercially in a weaponry. You get me? Where them say them a legal arms dealer. Them are gonna get wealthy. When we say the United States send billions of dollars worth of equipment to enhance the war, we know say boy we in a trouble. Because them now send $1 billion worth of equipment to the small nation where them colonize and destroy. Them now do that. You get me? Not billions. They must send a little 30 million, and the 30 million, they at least 28 or 29 million dollars out of the 30 million will come here. It are going at certain elite families' pocket, and they must split up a next 1 or 2 million on the island. And them 1 or 2 million there, I got to deal with the police force. That's why we police them are under pressure. You get me? I did talk a long time, so probably now them fix it up. Because me not gonna lie, me don't know if I throw me that lick some shot. I say when we go in a police station, it's AC down. We know if you go in a police station and see police miserable in the hot and a fun themselves or have some fun when I work. Police station, people for one come off of the road and go sit down in a police station and get some hot coffee and donut. You get me? Free. Are them way there. I'm glad when I see the police them get some bossy vehicle for drive. You understand? I mean, I hear them a complain now about them pay. So I think them rectify all of them things there. Because I say the man them a move on crime some way. Whole heap of big gun a find enough things. Police I get, you know, lock up now because them a gang leader and them in all kind of things. So we are salute these things. We not there for say, boy, hey, you know, we are against order. We are against, you know, discipline. We are against correctness. No, man. We are for all of that. You understand? Yeah, man. But it forgot straight across the board. It can't be a situation where there's a law for one set of man and a law for your next set of man. Law. And when you introduce policy, yes, you can make a man say, all right, a policy this, and you can choose to volunteer for these things. You know what I mean? You can volunteer to be a part of this thing, or you can choose to opt out or, you know, not to be a part. These things are always called, you know, disclosure, closure, clarity. You have to know so everything a contract. If there's no contract, then what we are deal with, you know? And a man not necessarily have to write on paper. You get me? If you say, boy, a contract is there by just a conduct. By just a conduct. Yeah, initiate some of them unseen contract, yeah. So we say ease up off of criminality. Yeah, man. So the crime bosses can ease up off our people. But the people have to choose that. And you say the moment you choose not, and I say, boy, you want to do all kind of wrongs out there, then this is why you got to have what them call law enforcers. Should not be policy enforcers. It should be law enforcers. We are going to enforce whatever laws that is there on the books. Yeah, man. So again, we will always appeal, say, watch ya, ease up off of the criminality. But me know, say, the reality is something else. Yeah, man, because you gotta have some set of people who grow hardcore and it just natural. Them grow that way. And even when them old, I saw them grow, so them stay that way. And them are gonna have children who come up where probably misguided as the parents, put it that way. So them grow up that way too. And when the children them catch problem, the parent them have problem too. You get me? Whether directly or indirectly. So them kind of thing at the power island where, you know, it end up all affect the whole community. But yo, we have to find a way to move away from the criminality. Yeah, man. We now can be free, you know, when we are criminal, you know. The moment you're criminal, then you never can be free. This is why me stand up as a free man, because I'm not going to get involved in them criminality. I'm not participate on them level. I try mind my business and conduct my business according to my lane. I'm a commercial man. I have nothing to deal with on a commercial level. You get me? Hold on a second, people. Boy, may I tell you.
Back home in Bhutan or Haiti. And eventually some of them are going to discover what fun it is to get ahead by spitting on the people who built this country. Some of them are going to realize that the natives are just like beaten dogs, and the harder you kick them, the harder you wag their tail. Now, do these newcomers love America? How can you possibly love a country when the natives themselves tell you that it's been a criminal enterprise right from the start? So now we have this spectacle of people from Somalia or Puerto Rico or Palestine getting themselves elected to Congress and telling us what America is all about. One in particular distinguished herself by saying that the people who were trying to hop the border were more American than people who wanted them to stay home. Well, the fact is, some of us are more American than others. And she's got the nerve to tell me that compared to somebody, a Guatemalan trying to climb the fence, he's more American than I am. We're really supposed to believe quite incredible things in this new America. We're supposed to believe that anybody can be an American, a woman can become a man, vice versa, diversity is our strength, and that way out there at the end of the rainbow is this wonderful, magnificent, multicolored pot full of 160 IQ black and brown people. And at the dark end of the rainbow, you know, rainbows have dark ends too. There's this big black pot full of white supremacists who secretly run the country. We're supposed to believe crazy things. So, what should America mean to us? It gives me no pleasure to say this, but the Potomac regime, as Greg Hood puts it, from whom you'll be hearing later this evening, has become the greatest enemy of white people anywhere in the world. The first ancestor Taylor of mine came to America in 1635. We fought in every war. We voted in every election. This land is stuffed with our bones and drenched with our blood. But the regime doesn't speak for me. The regime doesn't speak for any of us here. Our president appointed a black woman as ambassador of the United States to tell the General Assembly and the whole world that American racism is, in her words, a scourge and a cancer. We're the problem. That's our official government spokesman saying this. And our government opposes any person, organization, or even any sovereign nation that explicitly or even implicitly defends the interests of the race that built the United States. And who even dares talk about it? Our country prides itself on freedom of speech, the First Amendment, the marketplace of ideas. What a colossal joke that is. Do any of you remember a Twitter spokesman who once said, our general counsel and CEO like to say that we are the free speech wing of the free speech party. That was in 2012, just 9 years ago. Well, it took only a few years for that free speech wing to go lame, I guess. And of course, your servant, along with many others, have been banished. And if you go all the way back to 2010, Amazon refused to remove a title called The Pedophile's Guide to Love and Pleasure. Well, preying on underage children is still, of course, a crime in every state. But Amazon's view was, we may loathe what's in this book, but removing it would be censorship, and we are not censors. Well, Amazon, you've come a long way. Facebook, of course, banned me years ago, and just last year, YouTube blew up our channel with its 130,000 subscribers. I have just one question for these people. What are you afraid of? If what we say is so wrong and stupid, surely an average C- high school student can refute us, can explain what's wrong.
Hey, Gerard Taylor, I not hear you well enough, but I will agree we will burn the pedophile. We'll burn out the pederasts. We'll burn out some of these people who prey on children, whether boys or girls, preying on children when I like it. You get me? What's a decapitation for those kind of activity? Again, listen, decapitation for those kind of activity. You know, waste court time with these kind of mess. You get me? You're found guilty, you're proven guilty, and we'll take you outside and use a dull machete and decapitate you. If you take all day with a dull machete, that's the way it's going to take. That's your punishment. You know what I mean? We don't condone them kind of thing there. So it's enough for the people them where live that way. And this is our sentiment. Yeah, man, we don't condone those kind of activities.
I guess not. I guess all those brainy people on the left, all those millionaires out there in Silicon Valley, not even they can figure out how to explain to people why we're wrong. Why can't they? Because we're right.
Yeah, man. People, I just check this time on this thing and I go in at 2 hours and them can find this information. Matter of fact, I'll just let it play. I'm not bother read. Just run it out. This brother, I think him right. Watch him face. And him audience clap him, That means when you and Columbus come here, everything, all the atrocities will go on about here. Because even when you talk about Amazon, Amazon are you. Amazon represent you. My people not own Amazon. My people not operate Amazon. My people not own Google. My people not own Facebook. I hear people do that. You understand? So when them knock you, probably for personal reasons. It not have nothing to do with my people. And I speak on behalf of I people. And by extension, all other people will look like I and identify with I. Yeah, man.
And that's why we have to be smothered. Now, all we want is something that everyone should have, a place of our own where we can be ourselves.
Yeah, I have to go back in the Caucasus Mountain for that. You can't come and invade my place and then want to take my place from me and my people and talk about you want a place for your own. Withdraw your presence from our hemisphere and go back to your own place. A simple solution that go back to your point of origin. Hey, you see all this island, because the people them fall in love with this island, And you see now that them have one day where them have for themselves, for them say them not want to see no black people down a Puerto Rico, white man day. Watch how them are going to say them want 1 week. And then them tell us, say, watch ya, lock down Jamaica because we a party, we don't want to see non-whites on this island. And what our people are going to do, we have to stay inside our house. You understand? Not even a criminal can come out. You understand? People. We have to just reach a point where we can say, watch out, this are the information and this is how it is and this is what we have to choose to do. We have to just come together and put our differences and see how we can start fresh and push forward. Simple.
I guess that idea is just so immensely hateful, it can't even be refuted. But speaking of hateful ideas, you probably heard about Brittany Cooper, a professor of Africana Studies at Rutgers University. Last month, she got a flicker of media attention, certainly not from NPR or the New York Times, but she attended an online conference put on by The Root. That's a Black website whose motto is, the blacker the content, the sweeter the truth. Well, Professor Cooper was talking about how awful white people are. And she said, and let me make sure I'm quoting her precisely, she said, we need to take those motherfuckers out. Extermination. Now, there's nothing so strange about that, really. I want to call your attention to something else about that conference. In that blacker the content, the sweeter the truth lineup, there was one white man addressed the Root Conference, and not just any white man, President of the United States. Of course, he apologized for 400 years of systemic racism. He bragged that he'd worked equity into every possible program and every crevice of every office of the federal government. And then he said, the work that happens at the Root is so important because it reminds us that Black culture is American culture. Black history is American history. And Black stories are at the core of the ongoing story of America. Well, what did root readers think about the fact the President of the United States had blessed their conference? Were they happy? Well, I read the online comments. Here is the kindest one. Thank you, Joe Biden, for a lot of the same shit that Trump was doing, but with nice words instead of mean ones. This was in Ebonics, apparently. It said, fuck that rasclot. Another, he gives zero fucks about black people. And another, of course he gives zero fucks about black people. And naturally, just plain, fuck Joe Biden. And finally, I'm really disappointed the root is not calling him out on this hypocrisy, but making space for his pasty ass. Clever stuff. Yeah. You see, when Brittany says that they have to take us white motherfuckers out, her fans are not going to make any exception for Joe Biden and his pasty ass. Brittany Cooper is wise in the way that white people are not. And I thank her for expressing herself so clearly. Non-white people understand race. White people have done everything possible to fail to understand it, and boy, have they been a success. Non-whites draw clear, bright lines. Brittany Cooper has drawn a line that is so clear and so dazzling that only people who are deliberately blind cannot see it. And so our job, ladies and gentlemen, is to open the eyes of our brothers and sisters. This multiracial experiment has failed. We separate, or we face oblivion, or perhaps even worse. As Bishop Talbot Swan, graduate of Harvard Divinity School, tells his congregation of thousands, black people deserve reparations, white people deserve repercussions. This really is a declaration of war. We don't want war, but we cannot come to terms with these people. We have to go our own way. And yet, in this enormous struggle, simply to assert the right to go our own way is very difficult, much less actually doing so. And I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that this mission we have chosen is more noble and more worthy than the vast majority of causes for which white men have laid down their lives. White men have willingly, far too willingly, died in countless wars, killing.
I think white man lay down them lives for their interests, and black man end up lay down them lives for the white man interests. So I think it go on both sides. And white man coming to our land and decimate our people. White man going to African people land and decimate those people. White man did even go into the Chinaman land and try decimate them, and the Chinaman them push them out. So, you know, we have to give thanks.
Each other. And when we look back, we ask ourselves, for what? And the answer so often is for vanity, really. I won't even talk about the Peloponnesian Wars that destroyed Greece, or the horrible 30 Years' War, or the Napoleonic Wars that piled up millions of cadavers. What about our own wars? Brass bands playing, soldiers marching, and we march off the War of 1812, or the Spanish-American War, or the First World War. For what? And these endless, crazy, insane wars in Southeast Asia, Middle East, mountains of dead. For what? Now, I do not doubt the bravery and devotion and sacrifice of those soldiers. But I tell you, our cause to prevail in this life and death struggle for the survival of our people is more noble and more worthy.
Your cause is more noble and more worthy. And your cause is, you know, to preserve your people. So I want to other people out there who might share the very same sentiments such as you. Want to those people. They don't have a right to be, to exist.
Crazy, insane wars in Southeast Asia, Middle East, mountains of dead. For what? Now, I do not doubt the bravery and devotion and sacrifice of those soldiers. But I tell you, our cause to prevail in this life and death struggle for the survival of our people is more noble and more worthy. The astonishing and horrible thing is that white people who have marched time and time again into the mouth of the cannon refuse to rise to a cause that truly matters. Why is this? I think there are many reasons. Partly it's because they simply refuse to see this bright line that Brittany Cooper has drawn for us. Partly it's because it's a war not with weapons, but with words and ideas. And also partly because, and this is the great tragedy of our struggle, is that so many who oppose us are our brothers and sisters. White people easily have the power to retake their destiny into their own hands and choose to live rather than die. They lack the understanding. They lack the resolve. But we will give them understanding and we will show them resolve. The fact is, ladies and gentlemen, you live in a wonderful time. It is wonderful to live at a time when you see the gigantic forces contending for the future of our people, and you are among the few who know what's at stake, and you know where your duty lies. Few people in history have an opportunity to be a part of a cause that's not only just and moral, but critical to the survival of everything we love.
Again, you have your advocacy, and so do us. We have our own advocacy. And our advocacy is freedom, free dominion, free domain. And you, Gerald Taylor, and your elite class will never subjugate us as a people the way you have done before. You might catch a few of us because we want to entertain ourselves in commerce. But I said at least 3/3 of our people might go down that way, free will. But you won't be able to govern, to control, or to remove all of us. I'm here to rebut any claim you and your foreign people make here in this hemisphere. Yeah, man, I'm for Britain. By extension, even around at Britain, England. We are running you guys out of there. And we are doing it with words. We are doing it with words. Because we don't have the nuclear weaponry and the button for push. So we are use words, and our words are like flaming fire. This is our sword. So yes, we say salute, we say give thanks. But again, we are here. We've always been here since time immemorial, and will always be here. There'll never be a time, Gerald Taylor, when you or your kind can totally eradicate my people. It's an impossibility. Why? Because you're not the creator of nature. Your God is not our God.
Why can't I be 40 years younger so I can fight 40 years longer? Some of you in this struggle will be great. Choose to be great. Choose to be like the countless white heroes who have laid down their lives in glorious cause. The Greeks who fought at Thermopylae, the Franks who crushed the Moors at Poitiers, John Sobieski and his men who saved Europe at the gates of Vienna, the Boers at the Battle of Blood River. Those men died for us. And you have the blood of heroes in your veins, every one of you.
So do I. So do I. And so do my people. We as a people, we have the blood of our ancestors who are heroes in our vein. You have to know that. Yeah, man. You have to know that. So cry all you want. Cry, Gerard Taylor. We not cry anymore. We will not weep anymore. Your time now for cry. So cry.
And just as they fought, so do we fight. It'll be my honor to take my place at your side. We will fight like our heroic ancestors, and we will be victorious.
Not at all. I will fight this good fight to the victorious end. And I and my ancestors go and beat you and your ancestors. Why? Because you know the truth. It's not like yesterday. Yeah, man. We are no more shocked and awe at your presence. We now go bow down and say, whoa, there is God. No. We shall test you. Yeah, man. And we shall prove you. You get me? So any God where you think he is, all we are do is decapitate you and say, prove it. So you better cry. You get me? Yeah, man. And you better do not stop crying because it's your time for weep now. Your time for mourn now. Why? Because truth is in the earth. And truth is supreme.